All right, let's do it. The Texans had a great offseason, drafted the second and third pick, which they used on C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State, and pass rusher Will Anderson, Alabama. They hired D'Amico Ryans as head coach, who spent 2 years at the 49ers as defensive coordinator, was beloved by his players. If you look at their offensive line, I think that they quietly have one of the best offensive lines in football. They have a very sneaky wide receiving core with a lot of young talent, and Tank Dell and John Michie with Nico Collins. Their tight end room is pretty good. Brevin Howard is a guy that's on the rise. They brought in Dalton Schwartz. A lot to love when you're looking at this team. But when you come to questions, I think the number one question has to be, can this rookie head coach combination win more games than they're projected to and show some growth in this season? So I'm going to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of questions with the Texans. This is a team that's been in flux, that's really had no direction for a couple of years. If you just look at the roster in general, and knowing D'Amico Ryans came from the Niners, and they were a team that put a lot of pressure on their forward to get rush and didn't really blitz a lot, and which is part of the reason why they drafted Will Anderson, a guy who people were up and down on as a true premium pass rusher. Can he live up to that billing? Their interior rush doesn't look like it's the greatest. Looks like that's anchored by Sheldon Rankins. So if this is a team that you're trying to model after the Niners defense, which you had so successful, is the pass rush going to be there? Is the linebacking core going to be there? You had Fred Warner, arguably the best linebacker in football. Looks like Kirksey is going to take that position in this defense. This is a guy that's bounced around a little bit, dealt with the injuries a little bit. So there's obviously questions when you look at the team, but the number one question has to be the head coach and the quarterback combo. So we'll start with the quarterback. I'm a particular fan of C.J. Stroud. I thought he was the best quarterback in the country last year. If I had the number one pick, I would have went with him. I think he's strong arm, very mobile, a competitor, played his best when the competition was best. Case in point, the Georgia game showed the complete package, running, throwing. He's going to be playing under first-year coordinator Bobby Slowick, a disciple of Kyle Shanahan. You know, that offense, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of motion. Athletic quarterbacks thrive in that. So I think it complements his skill set very well. When it comes to D'Amico Ryans, once again, like I said, 2 years as defensive coordinator for the Niners. He was a great player, actually. If you are a football head, he actually played middle linebacker and he was a great player. But can that defense translate? You know, we have seen, coaches who've been hot shot defensive coordinators become head coaches and fall flat. But, this guy looks like a leader to me. There's not much expectation, but the roster is here. And given the star-studded draft class that is behind them, they traded a pick away to get Will Anderson. So if that is the case, you have to show some signs of growth this year, quote unquote tanking and just playing to play is not really a path anymore. So I think this team is actually pretty good. I think they're going to surprise people. I think the coach is competent enough. I think the quarterback is definitely good enough. I think their defense is good enough. I really like what the Texans have going on. But it's going to be on the coach and the quarterback to get it done. All right, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, subscribe, and as always, the game is the game.